says Russians not definitely going to games. Moscow, app, the latest on Russian doping, all times local. _ 12:45 p.m. The IOC says it will not necessarily invite the 28 Russian athletes who won their Sochi Olympic doping case appeals to compete at the Pyeongchang Games. The International Olympic Committee says not being sanctioned does not automatically confer the privilege of an invitation to the Games, which open in South Korea next week. The statement was issued soon after the Court of Arbitration for Sport overturned the disqualifications and Olympic life bans of 28 Russians from the 2014 Sochi Games. The IOC notes that CAS said the urgent ruling does not mean that these 28 athletes are declared innocent. A further 11 Russians lost their appeals, which the IOC says clearly demonstrates once more the existence of the systemic manipulation of the Sochi anti-doping system. The IOC says it could challenge the CAS rulings at Switzerland's Supreme Court. _ 12:30 p.m. 28 Russian athletes have had their Olympic doping bans overturned, throwing the International Olympic Committee's policy on the country into turmoil. The Court of Arbitration for Sport ruling was set to reinstate 7 Russian medals from the 2014 Sochi Olympics, including gold in men's skeleton and men's 50-kilometer cross-country skiing. 11 more Russians were ruled to have been guilty of doping, but had lifetime bans imposed by an IOC disciplinary panel 2 months ago cut to a ban only from the Pyeongchang Games, which open next week. CAS Secretary General Matthew Reeb says this does not mean that these 28 athletes are declared innocent, but in their case, due to insufficient evidence, the appeals are upheld, the sanctions annulled and their individual results achieved in Sochi are reinstated. The IOC says it has taken note of the CAS decision with satisfaction on the one hand and disappointment on the other, adding the decision may have a serious impact on the future fight against doping.